Good morning. Happy Monday, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. We're back after the holiday break, and it's crazy that it's already January.
We are halfway through January of 2026. What the heck?
Okay, looks like you had so much fun on your break. You got to tell us a little bit about it.
I had the best time. So, we were in Australia for 2 weeks and it was unbelievable. We were in Sydney for New Year's Eve. So, we got to be down there by the Opera House and watch the fireworks. Literally, the best show I've ever seen. It was amazing. And then we went to the Gold Coast and we just did all of the things. And shout out to the Australians. They are so kind and happy and loving. It was so amazing. Truly one of my bucket list trips.
And you were able to go with all of your kids?
Yes, all of my kids, my daughter's boyfriend. It was so good.
Yeah, your pictures looked amazing. I had the opportunity to go to Australia, goodness, back in 2019, and I loved the country. It was amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. I will be back. That's what I will tell you. I'll be back. It's so huge. It's vast, like the US. You cannot do the whole country in 2 weeks.
No, you can't. Well, I'm so glad you had a good break, and we are back with our Mondays with Michelle. So, did you have an angel message you wanted to share today, Michelle?
I really did. When I woke up this morning, the angels were just talking so much to everyone about remembering who we are. So, as we're stepping into 2026, we are going to see things that literally we've never expected, things that we thought we would never see in this lifetime. Not and I when I say things like this, I always want to clarify because a lot of times people always go worst case scenario with that. It's not necessarily worst case scenario. There's a lot of amazing magical things that are going to happen this year, a lot of gifts that the universe is going to want to give you. I want you all walking around with your hands in the receiving position. I'm ready. Bring it to me. Give me these gifts that you have for me. But this is really going to be a year of unexpected miracles and amazing things happening. Don't forget who you are because there are going to be things that happen this year also that are challenging, or we see it on the news, whatever this is that's happening. But we have to remember that we're strong, whole souls and we're chosen, and we chose to be on the earth at this time for a reason. So it's really time to quit giving our power away to fear, to the news, to stories, and stand in the truth and the light of who we are. And that was the angel message of the day. It felt really strong and really powerful for a great way to start off this year.
I love it. Ready for a great new year.
Yes, bring it on, universe.
Bring it. We're ready. Well, we'll get started with our questions. We have several of you that have already written in, so thank you. And we, like always, will start with our subscribers. We have members, and so we will always read your questions first and then go back to the other ones. So our first question is, good morning, Michelle. Where do my guides see us living next year? Also, any particular message for us? Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that feels really good. I want you to think of your top two places right now, give them A and B, and then they're telling me B is where you're most likely going to end up. Your first choice is going to come through with either some challenges with finding work or exactly what it is that you're looking for. But option B actually shows me that it's much stronger for you. The other thing is, along with the theme of the angel messages, your guides are really clear. Don't doubt yourself. There's this idea of them wanting to share with you, you can do well anywhere, but go with option B because that feels like it will go more smoothly, right? So the way that they're showing it to me, in life we can make things happen, and sometimes we are knocking on doors and running into walls, or we're making them happen, or we can jump on that lazy river and go with the flow and enjoy that ride. That's the energy for you this year. If the door is shut, they're saying, just know that, yeah, you can kick it down, but there's an easier path waiting.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. I've been doing healing work for my friend's dog, Miracle, who is 7 years old. Keep coming across a physical pathogen, prion. From what I understand, dogs are resistant to prions. Do her angels have any guidance?
Yeah, so the energy is, yes, dogs are resistant to this, but this dog is not. This dog is more sensitive than most. And what I'm wanting to acknowledge is even the name. So think about miracles, right? There's a sensitivity there when we think about that type of energy. So this dog is probably going to have some more physical issues than most. I want to use words like autoimmune, things like that, because of the sensitivity with it. And yeah, even though it's resistant, it's also so obviously activated in this dog right now. They're telling me to say with this dog, diet is really, really, really important with the dog. And I want to also talk about for the dog with its immune system, it feels inflamed. So I would think about anything you can do to bring inflammation down, and that might be diet. I feel like it needs a very I'm getting words like wholesome and organic type diet. I want to take out what they're telling me to say is take out like added additives, fillers, things like that. So very pure diet's going to help this dog a lot.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank
Next
you.
question. Hi, Michelle. What does Spirit have to say about the current house I'm in? It's month to month, and I'm unsure about the fit to stay or go.
Yeah, so it works for now is the first thing that I'm getting, and it feels like for you, you will be leaving within the next 3 to 6 months. This feels like it's going to be by your choice, not because you are forced out. So I feel like there's security in the house. You're not going to be forced out of it, but you're going to want something that feels more stable or more of an alignment for you. The image from Spirit is it's like you're trying to make a puzzle piece fit that doesn't exactly fit. Like it's close, but it's not exact. Give yourself 3 to 6 months because you're going to find a better fit for you that has more. I want to say it's just more comfortable. So either it's not month to month or just more stability with it.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. Hi, Michelle. My daughter, 14, is considering attending a tech school as part of her high school day. Is this a good choice for her, or is this an impulsive academic avoidance strategy?
Okay, it feels like it's a good choice, and I'm going to tell you why. A tech school, because in the future that we're headed into, there is going to be a lot of AI that is taking over a lot of jobs. My son's at U of A right now, and they're even talking about that with financial, strategies and all of that. So what I would tell you is that whenever the other thing too, as a parent, right, that your guides are saying this right now, what you want is your child to be happy, healthy, strong. And at the end of the day, yeah, everyone wants their kid to be a doctor or an attorney or whatever this is, but also more importantly is that they're happy, healthy, and strong. I feel like your daughter needs the opportunity to go see this field and see this. I don't know that she's going to stay, but she needs the opportunity to check it out.
Thanks, Michelle. Next question. Do my guides and angels have a message for me, and how bad will memory problems get?
Okay, so there's a very strong message here, and the message is this: you're setting an open-ended situation, right? So the memory problems that I'm feeling right now from the angels, they're showing me this. It's almost like I'm looking into a black hole. So I feel like I'm just looking out like, oh, there's darkness, darkness. We have power. This is kind of what the angels were talking about this morning, to choose and create our outcomes. And so for you, there is this part in your lineage where I want to say you have the power to command to say, this is as bad as it's going to get. I refuse for it to get worse. I'm going to choose my outcome. So I want to say, I feel like for you, the minute you start to stand in your power, the energy around how bad is it going to get comes to closure and completion, and you have a definitive answer on that. So for you, it's really about standing in your power and claiming what you want.
Thanks, Michelle. Next question. Something is not right with my husband. What are his guides saying? What can I do to help?
Yeah, so they take me to his brain. So I just want to say that's where they take me. So I don't know if he's just not acting like himself or if he's having some they're almost making me want to shake a little bit. So I don't know if there's some Parkinson's starting, but I would say it feels like there needs to be truly like a medical evaluation in this situation, because I feel like with him, I'm starting to get shakes or tremors in his energy. And so it might be the beginnings of something like that.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question is, hi, is light language and speaking in tongues as I understand them the same? Am I doing either of them, or is this an ancient, unfamiliar language? Thank you.
Yeah. I love that question. So thank you. Sorry for interrupting on that. The answer is yes, they are the same, right? Light language and speaking in tongues. These tend to be languages from either other lifetimes that we've had or literally the pure language of the soul, right? It's almost, I've heard people speak in light language. And although I don't understand it in my brain as far as the sentence structure, I understand what I'm feeling and what I'm receiving from it. So light language or speaking in tongues is an energetic transmission. And we know there are lots of people who can do this. It's a beautiful thing. It's quite the gift. That language tends to come with a very strong healing energy around it. So whether someone is speaking that over you, doing energy work on you and speaking it, it comes with a very strong healing aspect. And yeah, you are speaking it. So don't doubt yourself on this.
Thanks, Michelle. Next question. Good morning, Michelle, and Happy New Year. My mom, Mary, lives far away and is having advanced cognitive decline. What are her guides saying, and how can I best support her from afar? Thank you.
So with that, it's so funny. The guides are so fast today, Heather. Like I can't even before you're done with the question, they're like, okay. So with your mom, first of all, I'm sorry about that. They're really showing me assistance is needed at this point in time. So if she doesn't have someone coming in to check on her, or if she's not in an assisted living facility, that needs to happen. And if she is in those, then we might need to up the assistance that she's getting. I want to say a couple things about this because this is really important. We can talk to people's souls all the time. So even when we are not physically in the same room with them or on the phone with them or texting with them, we are in soul to soul communication with them. This happens with our loved ones on the other side, as well as our loved ones here in the human form. So one of the things that I'm going to encourage you to do right here from the angels is to talk to your mom on a soul level. Right? It's similar to praying or whatever that looks like for you, but sending her energy, sending her love, sending her clarity. And then what we find is that we actually sometimes see the physical body start to respond to the soul conversations. This is also a beautiful thing to do if you have someone challenging in your life that you don't want to talk to in their human form. Talk to their soul. Okay, soul, I know we have a soul agreement here. I know there's something that we have chosen to figure out through this. Please help me to understand and please help us to move through this smoothly. So that feels like it's really important. The other thing that they're showing me with your mom are pictures. So your mom's going to respond really well to truly like pictures and picture frames. And I almost want to like plaster those all over her room for her to help her have what they're calling a touchstone to where she is right now.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. On Christmas Day, an 8x10 photo of a yellow hibiscus somehow fell out of a booklet onto my hallway floor. Who placed it there and why?
Okay, so with this, I want to go with an older female energy. So I want to go with either mom or grandma on mom's side. What you're going to find is whoever is attached to this picture that they did that, they love flowers because I'm seeing a lot of like they would have worn flower print clothes, maybe the color yellow a lot or had a garden of flowers, right? So I'm wanting to connect it to that. The other thing is this message from them is about tuning into your soul and allowing yourself to, I want to say, go pick the roses, right? So there's part of you where it's almost like the energy I'm getting from them is you're like, I see it, but I can't touch it. It's beautiful, but it wouldn't be for me. It must be for someone else. And their energy for you is like, go pick the flowers, create your own bouquet, smell them, enjoy them. These gifts are for you. So allow yourself to receive, because the challenge is you always are looking at things thinking that's beautiful. It must be for someone else. And your loved ones are saying to you, it's beautiful and it's for you. Take it.
I love that message. Next question. My husband has had continuous dizziness for more than a week and significant back pain for the past month. Could this be symptoms of something serious, possibly return of cancer? Having an x-ray today.
Yeah. So I'm more concerned about the back pain than the dizziness. To me, the dizziness feels like vertigo when I'm in his energy. And so let's talk about this. When we have physical pain, it does change our energy, right? And sometimes physical pain is absolutely disoriented. I know you know this, Heather. You've had really bad back issues at times, right? But it literally, that's where I feel like there's fear, there's dizziness, there's confusion. I do not feel, I'm glad you're getting the x-ray. I do not feel the return of cancer. I do feel like, I want to say almost like some fractures in the bones in the back. So I don't know if this is osteoporosis or something along those lines. But that's more of the energy that I'm getting for you.
Thanks, Michelle. I hope your husband can have some relief because back pain is so debilitating.
Yes, and send me an email. Let me know how it turns out.
We always love when you guys follow up and give us updates or things that come up. It's always so fascinating to see what happens. So we always appreciate that. Our next question. Can you tell me what my guides think about me becoming a death doula or energy worker for the dying?
Yeah, the first thing I see is 2 thumbs up about that. So I feel like that's absolutely in alignment with who you are. It feels like you're already very strongly connected to spirit world. You've probably had some shared death experiences. And they're telling me to say you're very sensitive to energy, which is good and can be a challenge in those situations, right? So for you, it looks like they're using the word like bolster. I almost want to bolster your energy in the sense that it's like they're thickening the shield around you so that you can walk into those situations and hold this space without leaving with it. So I want to use a really good example of this. Because of the work I do, I tend to be more sensitive. And I had a friend do biofeedback on me a year and a half ago. And biofeedback, you get hooked up to this machine and it'll tell you what your health issues are. The number one health issue that came up for me was prostate issues. Clearly, I don't have prostate issues, right? But I had been working with a client who did unknowingly to me, but it was obviously a male client. So I was carrying his energy still with me without knowing that. And so it actually showed up as my number one health issue. This is what your guides and angels are saying to you. Like, this job is in alignment for you. And it does feel like it's something that your soul wants to do. But between now and when you start, really notice how you build your reserve or your shield or you clear your energy so that you're not carrying the grief and the trauma and the things that will come with it.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question, I like this one. Is the concept of feng shui real? Does the placement of objects in our home truly affect the way that abundance and energy flows to and from us? And I love that. My husband and I took a feng shui class several years ago, and I found it really interesting. So I'm curious to hear what Spirit has to say about this.
Yeah, I love that. So it has power if you give it power. That's what I'm going to tell you with feng shui, right? So if you believe in it, right, pretty much like a lot of things in this world, if you believe in it, then it absolutely is giving you power. One of the things is feng shui is about, setting up a nice energy in your home. So you can do that without necessarily placing things in specific places. One of the ideas too with feng shui, I know, is like the front door cannot face the stairway because money flows out, or you can't see the back door from the front door. I would just say that, I've had homes like that before, and we didn't lose money and nothing went wrong that year financially, right? So, or those years that we were in those homes. So it will have power and energy if you give it to it. What you're really looking to do, the guides are saying, is create an environment that feels good and feels right to you. So if you are someone that feels, whatever you want, like the sound of water in the background or light, soft music playing on and on and on, that is going to help you. And the placements of objects, first and foremost, needs to be in alignment with what feels right to you. Because and I'm just going to talk about myself here, if I walked into a room and something to me felt like it wasn't in the right place, I would notice that before I would notice if it was correctly done in feng shui. So think about the flow of energy and what feels right to you.
So it sounds like it's just more about being in alignment with what feels good to you. And when you're putting that energy out there and you feel good in your home and all of that, then that's where you're putting your energy to.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful way to do it, and it works for a lot of people. But the biggest message here from the guides today is when we put our belief in something, we're giving it our power. So if we believe in that, we are giving it power, and we are saying it has to be this way and it'll flow, and now it will have to be this way to flow, right? So it kind of goes back to what the angels were saying earlier today about owning your power and knowing who you are and all of these things, because we can make situations flow we all know someone and we think they are the luckiest person. Things happen to them that would never happen to anyone else, right? It's not because their house is set up with feng shui. It's because they are in the flow and they have decided, like, no matter what speed bump comes my way, I'm going to fly over it and come out better for it, right? So the power truly for these things is in our energy. If you want to believe in it, that's fine, right? It's one of the perks of being on planet Earth. You can believe that this exists and works, and it will work for you, or you can choose that you're going to create your own flow and that'll work for you too.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. Good morning, Michelle. I am getting ready to take a trip later this week, and I need to leave our fur babies in boarding care. Can Spirit tell us if we will be okay?
They're going to be fine. Are they going to love it? No, they're probably like kids when you drop them off at school and they're like, what do you mean I have to go here? But I feel like their overall health and they're going to be okay. They're not going to love it, but it's going to go well.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. You've talked about free will. Does free will always win out over prayer?
Oh, I love that. So yeah, but let's talk about that for a minute, because we also have soul plans that were created from free will on a higher level. So I'm going to use myself as the example for this. Obviously, I have made some choices in my life and had, my 25-year marriage ended in divorce. Gary passed by suicide. My human free will would have wished that none of that had happened, but my soul had a bigger plan, right? So free will, we're talking about it on two different levels. We also can't pray something away, in the sense that if somebody's soul has chosen to transition this earth or have a certain challenge, my prayers can't overtake what their soul plan is. Does that make sense? Now they can make it smoother and easier and maybe more gentle on them, right? Because I'm like thinking of it as like giving them a little bit of a buffer. But so yeah, free will is one of these things where we have it, but free will is very individual. So we have to think of it in that way. And we also have to realize that we have a soul plan too. So our free will in human form very often is the way we choose to look at a situation. So I can look at the end of my marriage and Gary's suicide as the worst things that will ever happen, which I do think they were very, very challenging, that I will never heal. I'll never be happy. I'll never smile again. Or I can look at it and say, I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to have that marriage, those children, and to love Gary. And so there's my free will in action. So think of it in that way. Our free will is very individual. My free will shouldn't impress on anyone else's, because they are whole souls with that too. But we can always pray for guidance. And I want you to think about it. If it's meant to happen, whether it is for us in our human form or for someone we love, it's going to happen. But the free wills give it the prayers give it a softer place to land and make it go more smoothly, whether we realize that or not.
Thanks, Michelle. I love the way you talked about the free will and the prayer, because that is always such a big topic of, discussion about things that happen to us and hard things that happen to us. And could I have done something to make it go away? Could I have prayed more? Could I have been more worthy? Right? That always comes into play with certain religious aspects as well. So I loved that answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our next question. Hi, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. By when do you see me finding my next job? Anything on how it will be?
Yeah, I am hearing 4 to 6 weeks. So I think you're pretty close to that. I'm getting words like, I feel like for you that we're looking at equivalent finances. So I don't think you're going to lose money. I also don't feel like it's a huge financial gain. But what you're really looking for is they're making me feel comfortable inside and relaxed and happier where I'm at. And that's where it feels like you're going to be really gaining. Down the road, there'll be more room for financial growth, but it almost feels like a financial lateral move. However, the benefits are body, mind, and spirit with this one.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. I lost my spot for a second. Okay, here it is. Emotionally, I've been doing well, and last week I tanked for no apparent reason. Insights, please.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that you're really like connected to a lot of the energy that is happening. So I want you to just think about like what happened last week. Did you see something? Did you hear something? Did you feel something? As far as a conversation, the news, whatever this is. We naturally go higher, lower in our energy field, right? Throughout the day, let alone throughout the week, the month, the year. Um, it's not uncommon to have a place where you tank. But the other thing that's really important for you to know is Spirit's already showing me that you're moving your way out, like you're climbing up the mountain again, you're headed back to your happy place. So when we see that, just know that it's okay that you were there for a day or two or a week, but it's not actually where you're going to stay. Energy around you. It's almost like I want to say, and there were questions or maybe fears about the new year. So let's talk about this because very often, this is not just for you, this is for everyone listening today. So a lot of people had a challenging 2025, right? But they're like, but I survived it and I got through. Oh no, 2026 could be worse. It could be, right? And we're going into that negative type energy, not necessarily consciously or on purpose, but it's like the trail that we're going down. What I'm feeling for you is that there's uncertainty about your future. So whether you're just like, am I going to find the love I want? Am I going to find the job? Whatever that is, that kind of led into this little downward slide that you're in, but you're going to come right back up. 2026 has so much potential for you. So allow yourself to receive it. I'm going to use this word throughout the year because the angels have used it so much in the last 2 weeks. We have to allow ourselves to receive, not just from other humans, but from the universe, right? The universe has unlimited gifts, miracles, abundance waiting for all of us. I've actually had people before tell me, like, I don't want to receive my healing miracle because someone needs it more than I do. And I'm like, okay, that's very sweet and kind. And guess what? The universe has unlimited miracles and healings for everyone. So receive and take and be happy and joyful with what is meant to be here for you, because the universe runs on unlimited and you're not taking from someone else. And that feels like it's really important for you to step into.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. I started a seasonal part-time job. What does timing look like for finding a job in my career? What industry will it be in? Any information you can share?
Yeah, so I'm getting March on that. That feels important. I am wanting to go with some type of sales. That's the word that I'm getting. So depending on what you love, right? We can sell a million things. We can sell Avon. We can sell medical parts. We can sell everything in between, right? So just think of saying Avon really dates me, doesn't it? That's horrible. Sorry about that, everyone. Um, anyway, with that being said, sales is where it feels like you're headed. March feels like the time for that. You just kind of think about what you want to do. You are meant to be interactive. So I don't see you as somebody at home on the computer, not talking to people all day. That's where they're showing me you're interactive and you're really good at sharing what you know with people. So use those strengths and you'll find the job you're looking for.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. How does blessing our food and water change their quality? I do that often, especially when I consume something that is not particularly healthy. Much love to all.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great question. And it actually does change the quality. So we're doing two things with that. There was a study, and I cannot remember his name, by a Japanese doctor. And he literally would speak words over water, and you would watch the molecules change. I think he would freeze it into different shapes, right? And so if it was love and peace, it would be much more harmonious. Here's what I will tell you. That is what we're doing over our food. The ancient people knew that. People have been blessing their food for eons on this planet, okay? So we do want to bless it. Sometimes we do that as a family gathering and a blessing in that way, or sometimes you just silently do it. So I want to say something about this. I have a friend that likes to charge water. He has this copper triangle and crystals, and he will charge it for like 3 days under this thing, right? Because that's how he gives it good energy. I do not have that kind of time in my life. And so I take my water and I'm like, peace, love, happiness, blessed. Here we go. Right. So the universe will meet us where we're at. If we want it to take 3 days, it'll take 3 days. If we have 3 seconds, it'll take 3 seconds. So blessing the food does change the energy of it. Even things like people who eat meat, just gratitude. Thank you for this animal that, is going to nourish my body. Right. So it changes the energy of the food. The other thing that you really want to do is you want to taste your food when you eat it, because your body is smart. Your body knows what to do with food. So even if you're eating something that's not the healthiest for you, like I have a love for chocolate, when you're blessing it and you're reminding your body, like, it's not that I'm trying to say this is good for me, because I know it's really not good for me, but that my body knows what to do with it and that it's not going to create issues. Obviously, if you're someone who has diabetes, there are still some other physical things that you're working through, and you don't want to just like load up on the chocolate no matter how much you bless it. But it does change the energy of the food, which your body's receiving that energy, and you want to acknowledge that your body knows how to receive the energy and what to do with it.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question: would it be beneficial if I stepped in to help a loved one deal with a hoarding issue, or better to step back?
So what I want to say is I'm getting the word intervention. So I feel like it would be an intervention. It's also going to be met with resistance, and then you're going to have to be able to walk away and let it go. So yes, there's an intervention that needs to happen. But right, when we talk about hoarding issues, energetically, let's talk about this. Whether we are hoarding animals, things, paper, or clothing, whatever it is that we're hoarding, we're trying to fill a void that we're finding within ourselves, right? And if I can just put enough stuff out here to distract me from what I'm missing inside, then I won't notice what I'm missing. So that's kind of where the hoarding is coming from. The intervention with this person actually needs to be about the emotional intervention, not the things. Because when this person is feeling complete and whole emotionally, they're not going to feel like they need all of those things.
Thanks, Michelle. Our next question. Hi, Michelle. Will we sell our house soon?
I'm getting March, April. So I don't know if that is what you consider soon or not, but March or April, it feels like it's going to go in the springtime.
Thanks, Michelle. And our last question for today. My son has been unemployed for 9 months. He's looking very hard. Can you please tell me when he will find a job?
Yeah, I again want to go within about 3 months here. I feel like he's going to have a job. There is something in his energy, though, that is what is not connecting the job, because they're showing me magnets. You know how magnets can repulse each other? That's a little bit in his energy. So he's either resentful about having to get a job, resentful that he hasn't been chosen, picking a job that's not truly in alignment with him, but he's trying to make it fit. There's something that feels like it's off. When he shows up for an interview in a place of love and not resentment or fear, then I'm going to tell you he's going to get that job real quick. Let me just see. There's something else I want to say about this. I feel like I feel like he's resentful of not being seen. So that's what they keep going back to. And let him know that this is really about him choosing jobs that aren't necessarily in energetic alignment with him, right? He might have the degree in this, but I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like if there's a fork in the road coming from him, and he's going to have to choose himself and loving himself and connecting with the job that feels right with him over what he's qualified to do. That's what it feels like. I don't think there's going to be a financial issue. It feels like he's going to be fine financially, but this is about choosing himself.
Thanks, Michelle. And thank you everyone for joining today. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, thank you all so much. And thank you, Heather and Aiden, for showing up. It's great to be back. Everyone, receive your gifts from the universe this week. Walk around with your open hands with a heart full of gratitude. I'm ready to receive the miracles and amazing gifts that the universe has to give, because this is a 1 year in numerology. So we want to plant the seeds that we want to harvest, reap, grow, and sow for the next 9 years. It's the year, you guys. Stand in your power. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a beautiful week. Thanks, Heather and Aiden. Bye.